Hey everyone. So this is our second episode in the series about how we're building Flamingo. This episode will be focused mostly on our marketing operations and how we validate leads and how we track those leads, and even more interesting things on how we track usage in the product and how we kind of building around it a bunch of things that related to nurturing leads and also making sure that users are happy. And if they're not, to mitigate that and fix it, and also go all the way to investor reportings, business reportings, etc. So we will show how the fact that we have this unified single source of truth when it comes to all of the information about the business helps us build very streamlined and lean operations when it comes to RevOps and marketing ops, etc. So let me quickly share the previous ClickUp whiteboard. So we talked about our different channels, our physical community, our open MSP community, and our website, and how everything is being operated using one unified database and code base and dashboard. Today we're going to talk a bit more about Company Hub, Marketing Hub, and Product Hub. So we're currently operating a waitlist, so we're still pre-revenue, and we have multiple sources of lead generation sources that we have. We have the waitlist. So if someone goes on our website and fill up a form, for example, if we'll go here, start free trial, we'll go here and someone will fill up this form and enter his business address. We also added phone number because sometimes our emails were getting blocked by spam filters. So when someone fills up this form here, it will arrive to our marketing hub. And our marketing hub is basically the source for all of the leads and all of the different content that we have. We'll touch about the content piece in one of the next sessions, but all of the leads that we have are reaching marketing hub. So content forms, waitlist signups, access codes, even our open frame tenants, etc. They come here. And then if we'll go to early access, for example, we have some tests here, but those also are leads that joined our waitlist. Now we have this one that just arrived, but we kind of gating the HubSpot. I'll show it here. Like we have the waitlists and community signups. Then we kind of store it on our database and we insert it to HubSpot only upon a certain validation and enrichment. So not any lead is going into HubSpot directly. This is kind of something happened to me in my previous company that HubSpot, like if you use HubSpot traffic tracking plus form tracking as a vanilla, it creates a lot of garbage and pollutes the CRM. And you get to a situation where you have tens of thousands of contacts where it's not real. Like most of those contacts can be spammers on different forms or things like that. So we store all the leads in a kind of proxy database, and only once we validate, we push it. I'll show you how it works here. So if we'll go here, we have an AI content enrichment. I can also add some instructions here, but it's not really necessary. And once I will hit here enrich, this will activate Claude web search, and will take. Right now we have only the email, but sometimes we also have the phone number, and if it's a community registration that also registered to our waitlist, we will also have first and last name from the SSO. So that's gonna enrich. Yeah, just did. So you see here it enriched successfully. It didn't manage to find the name, so it's like parse it out from here. We also have this LinkedIn profile URL generator because we also afterwards have automated processes that go out and outreach to those people from some of our LinkedIn accounts. So let's delete this one. We have another process on our HubSpot that once a user a contact get added without LinkedIn profile URL, we're using Clay kind of in an async manner and trying to fill it up. So that's not only the way. That's not only the way to get the profile URLs. And very important, company size. Why is important? Because we did analysis on MSPs and what's the head count that serves how many MSP clients and how many MSPs endpoints. and that determines the deal size for us. So that helps us determine the overall pipeline. You will see here all the AI enrichment data, and we also store that on HubSpot. We'll show it in a second. It also gives us a confidence level on whether this lead is an MSP or not. And if it's not an MSP, we simply don't add it to our waitlist, because currently we're not serving any other users. And obviously you have here all the UTM params for tracking, etc. And once I will click here, push to HubSpot, then it will create both company objects and contact objects. We'll see it in a second. You see that it just did. And now if we'll click here, you're going to see it in HubSpot. Very important thing to mention here is that we built a pretty extensive custom events on HubSpot. So anything that happens, either if it's a community sign up, either if it's a waitlist sign up, everything is being mapped from different HubSpot developer applications that we built, and they're being pushed here. Why it's important? Because that allows us to follow up with those leads inside of HubSpot sequences. So we can send them emails. For example, if someone joined the waitlist, you will get an email saying, "Hey, thanks for joining the waitlist," etc. We also based other sequences and automations on top of it. For example, LinkedIn outreach and things like that. That also allows us to retarget them if at a certain point they kind of lost interest or something similar. So this is kind of like, let's go back here. So this is kind of where we are. We're here at the lead generation and HubSpot gating plus enrichment. This mostly happens on the Marketing Hub. And if we'll go back here, and we also have ways to check out how good the enrichment is even throughout the pipeline. So once a contact is being added, we also have, afterwards we create a deal and it's being added to our pipeline, so we can see like whether the enrichment was good. Obviously, we also do that for all the UTM params, so we can track down which of the channels we have are generating more leads, quality leads, not so good leads, etc. So that allows us to keep on iterating on our customer acquisition cost. Okay, so someone joined the waitlist. Once they join the waitlist, we start asking them, do you want early access? Because we're kind of looking for higher intent users right now, because we're still working on the product and we want the waitlist signups, not just just to add 1 or 2 devices. We want real production deployment of at least 10 devices. So we outreach to them either on LinkedIn or just through the mail. They reply to us saying, I would like to get access to the product. And then we have, if we'll go here, we have here access codes. We have different cohorts, and each cohort shows us what's the success for this cohort, like how many of those cohort members actually use the product, like actually deployed it. So if we'll see here, you'll see all of our cohort members. So we just go here, we select the MSP we want to provide access code with, and once I will click here, add one member, what will happen? Actually, let's see this one. What will happen now is that we're gonna add the beta cohort information directly into this user in HubSpot. And all the sequences moving on from here, including injecting the access code into the email, etc., are gonna be automated with sequences. We also build a way to do the process I just showed manually. We also build it with the webhook. So we have automated process from HubSpot that if a user asking for access code, we can just change a certain property in HubSpot, and then access code will be immediately generated. So that's kind of what happens when they get the access code. I will show how it looks like from deeper tracking perspective. For example, this guy. Yeah. So your open frame access code is here, and we also have ways to track down how active they are in the product. So if we'll go back here we can see whether a certain access code was used or not. But we also have a way. And this also goes back to the reporting. So we talked about the access code management, product usage, and trial management. We have processes from our product back to HubSpot that reports on every open frame tenant, whether with how many devices were used on this tenant. And for example, after the first device that is being added, we send an email with more advanced capabilities in the product, etc. And we also track down non-used tenants. So if someone is not using the tenant for like 10 days and doesn't deploy at least 10 devices, We send them a reminder telling them you need to deploy this amount of devices, or we're going to remove the tenant. So that's kind of related here for the nurturing. And then for account health, we look at it from two perspectives. The first perspective is how active a tenant is. So we can see the dashboard from here, but you can see the amount of devices that these tenants are using. You can visit his account on HubSpot, and we can also track down. If we go to pipeline, you will see that also the pipeline is being managed pretty tightly. You can see here that's the deal, and that's the pipeline. So it's plus 50 devices. We also have custom objects on HubSpot that are directly integrated into our product. So this tenant is actually our object in our databases. So that's a tenant, that's open frame tenant that sits inside of our databases and inside of our platform, and that's been reported on a daily basis for two purposes. One, what I just showed, meaning that we want to track down the health of a certain account, and second, this is our way to charge the customers. So once we're going to turn on billing, we have HubSpot and Stripe integrations. So we report on a daily basis how many active devices the user had, and then that allows us to send the Stripe invoice at the end of the month. And this is like a complete process. So once the user pay for it, we also update collection. So we know that this user paid for it. If they don't pay, we also send them reminders to pay, and then and that affects our investor reporting and company reporting. So we have both product hub things that we'll talk about this one in kind of our next sessions, but we can see it here. More importantly, we can see the entire pipeline. So we have kind of a data room for our investors, our existing investors, but also our kind of prospect investors. So you can see here the entire pipeline. So how many waitlist signups we had, how many access codes were granted, and how many of those access codes were actually used, and how many active tenants we have after we removed all the users that were not that engaged in the product. So that kind of gives us the full overview. And if we'll go back here, you will see that we have Company Hub, Marketing Hub, Product Hub. So Company Hub is the investor reporting and internal ops. Marketing Hub is everything that, like, it's some of the things that I showed today. It's also content generation. And we have Product Hub for product releases and roadmap tracking and things like that. And in the future, we're also going to have Revenue Hub. We're still pre-revenue, so we don't have it. But in Revenue Hub, we will have everything RevOps related. How many devices each user was charged for, MRR, ARR, and like net retention rate, all those type of things will be there. And that will allow us kind of to complete the entire cycle from product release, lead generation to revenue and investor reporting. All goes through either HubSpot, Stripe, or our databases in a unified manner. We never duplicate, and we always, for example, you saw here when I hover on top of this user, you see that I have the HubSpot icon. So we just maintain those connections and external references between objects. But as we talked about on the previous podcast episode, we always maintain single sources of truth. So if we have a waitlist submission and it sits on our database, we keep a reference to the company's ID and to the contact ID that are on HubSpot. So we never need to run sync processes, etc. We do have fixing processes. So if we'll go here, we have the system jobs. So here you can see this is our way to kind of integrate everything together. So we have HubSpot contact sync, and we have things that are related to our OpenMSP, etc. Also token refresh. If we'll go here, you will also see HubSpot. Oh, I don't see it here. Oh, integrations. You'll see it here. You have here all the different HubSpot apps that we have, and even all the HubSpot events that we have. So that's mostly for debug, but that's also available here. Yeah. So I think we covered everything from that perspective. I think that the most important thing is that we kind of unified the data sources when it comes to where things are coming from, and how we validate them and how we enrich them. For example, the enrichment that I showed you guys before, this component is available through every different submission in our website. And also the event tracking is completely unified among all of the platforms, among all of the different conversions types that we have in the product. And that allows us to pretty easily, because HubSpot reporting is like the report feature of HubSpot is not that good. So it allows us even to build reports on top of it. So I showed you before the pipeline with the waitlist. So that allows us to build whatever missing on HubSpot kind of on our own with very normalized and unified structured manner. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the lead tracking and conversion tracking. On the next few episodes, we're also going to talk about some other interesting stuff like how we manage product, how we manage roadmap, how we do product releases, how we do documentation, etc. So stay tuned with us. I hope you found this, what I just showed, helpful and interesting. And if you did, stay tuned and keep on listening to our podcast. Thank you.